You're watching the New Hampshire Association of Broadcasters' three-time award-winning YCN Game of the Week. The YCN Game of the Week is brought to you by Top Stitch Embroidery, the best for your team, and so much more. MJ Harrington and Company, jewelers and designers since 1948. William A. Smith Auction Gallery. They host 45 auctions yearly. Check the schedule on their website. Lake Sunapee Region VNA and Hospice, providing independence for patients and peace of mind for families. HR Clough and Kearsarge Heating, your local energy specialist, much more than a home heating provider. La Valley Building Supply, 10 retail lumber yards serving New England for over 55 years. Ramonto's Brick Oven Pizza and more, always fresh. People, food, great times await you. Baba's Bar and Grill of Newberry Harbor, where Baba wants you to know we're having a lot of fun. And Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer and mailer located in New London, New Hampshire.
Good evening and welcome to Lebanon, New Hampshire for tonight's Division II Boys High School basketball game between the Hollis-Brookline Cavaliers and the Lebanon Raiders. Hello everyone, I'm Jeremy Stout, joined as always by my broadcast partner Scott Quimby, and tonight as the season winds down, two teams battling for a top 4 seed in Division II, the aforementioned Cavaliers and the Raiders. Scott, as always, we're here in Lebanon, the crowd's filling in, and the teams are out on the floor. We've seen this Lebanon team before. They know what they have to do, and it's going to be a tough task tonight against the Cavaliers.
Yeah, I mean, we know this team is a tough team to beat, this Lebanon Raiders team. Last time we saw them, they played Hanover in a real tight battle. It came down right to the wire, and they just lost by 2 on a last-second shot. But this Lebanon Raider team can play some really good basketball, and they've been pretty consistent throughout the season. No losing streak whatsoever. They only got 2 losses on the season. And, I mean, this is very important in the standings for both teams. Yeah, you mentioned the first loss of the 2 was at Bow, the second game of the season, where they just were not able to shoot at all. They were really missing everything. And then they went on a nice little winning streak until that one you mentioned that we were here for, the loss against Hanover, a last-second at the buzzer, basically overtime heartbreaker for the Raiders, and then they went on and they sit now at a 6-game winning streak. So they are a good team and looking for that top seed. As we know, 15 teams make the playoffs and 1 seed gets a bye. So at 2, 3, 4, and 5 seeds will be very coveted for the Hollis-Brookline Cavaliers. Another team on a big winning streak, lost 3 of the first 5 games, and they haven't lost since. Yeah, 11-0 since that tough 2-3 start, and they sit here just 1 game behind Lebanon. And obviously, I mean, if you look at the 11-0 in the last 11, they're the hotter team, I guess. Not that Lebanon's cold by any stretch of the imagination, but, you know, 1 game here behind them, a win here would tie them with just, I think, 2 games to play for each of them. 1 game each, I'm sorry, yeah. And Lebanon's next game is not an easy one. It's against that Hanover team they lost to. So these teams are definitely upper echelon, and this is really going to factor into the standings here, you know, the playoff seeding. Yeah, as we mentioned, the winner of this game basically secures a top 4 seed, while the loser has some work to do in their final game. Hollis-Brookline plays Milford, and as you mentioned, Lebanon travels a little bit up the road to play Hanover. So the game between 14-2 Lebanon and 13-3 Hollis-Brookline will return shortly. We'll have senior night when we come back, so we'll touch on the 8 seniors for this Lebanon team and mention also, obviously, the Hollis-Brookline seniors as well. We'll take a short break. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week.
Simple solutions in a challenging world. Let Echo Communications make your life simpler. From the beginning, creating design through the commercial print process and ending with custom mailing, all easily coordinated in one place. Echo Communications provides simple solutions in a challenging world. One place, many solutions. Learn more at echocominc.com. Simple solutions in a challenging world. Let Echo Communications make your life simpler. From the beginning, creating design through the commercial print process and ending with custom mailing, all easily coordinated in one place. Echo Communications provides simple solutions in a challenging world. One place, many solutions. Learn more at echocominc.com.
Welcome back, YCN Game of the Week. Jeremy Stout, Scott Quimby, as you see the court clearing here, and we are ready for the senior night festivities. And as we mentioned, 8 seniors for the Lebanon Raiders, and by my count, the same 8 seniors for the Hollis-Brookline Cavaliers. So Scott, obviously a big season, these two teams at the top. Next season's going to look a lot different for both these teams.
Yeah, I mean, that's certainly a big part of the big seasons, I think. 8 seniors apiece. They're very experienced veteran high school teams. So, yeah, they're definitely going to have some roster turnover and, have to get some of those underclassmen, ready to go. And
as we see on the Hollis-Brookline team, 8 seniors, and then they are filled in with a handful of number of juniors. Only one freshman on the team.
And this Hollis-Brookline team has, 5 juniors. So, I mean, even next year they'll still have an experienced team.
And over on the Lebanon side, they have, it looks like, 3 juniors.
So they're going to have to rely on a little bit younger talent next year. So they might have a little bit more speed bumps, but
yeah, they'll have a little bit more rebuilding as we see Lebanon coach Keith Maddie doing his senior night speech, as he's become famous for, giving a little bit of a write-up on that we have here on all the seniors.
For all the support they give
assistant coaches for this Lebanon team. Connor Rockwell, of course Paul Karp, long time. Athletic director Mike Stone over there on the sideline as well. And the athletic trainer Danza Rodriguez.
I have to thank the parents, they were great. They got us food for the road. We never had to stop.
This Hollis-Brookline Cavaliers squad, as you mentioned, very senior-laden team, coached by the only third year in his head coach, Cole Etton, who last won a championship in 2018 with Hollis-Brookline. And before that, he had won in 2015 with Bishop Brady. So you got, obviously we know Keith Maddie, he's been there, he's done that. On the other side, he's got some experience as well.
Yeah, and having just won in 2018 and now they're already competitive here in 2020, he knows how to handle that roster turnover. Not that he's going to have a lot of seniors leave, but he's still going to have a fairly experienced team, I would imagine. You look at this whole roster, they have 1 freshman and not a single sophomore. Everybody is a junior, senior, and you look at their JV team and they got, they got juniors on there and they got a bunch of sophomores. Only 4 players off their JV team are freshmen. So
right. Good feeder program.
There's a lot of talent there in that school, and they have a great feeder program.
So now they're honoring the seniors from Lebanon. Jake Began, first one, wants to thank his parents Peter and Tammy Began and brother Ben and his grandmother Mary Jane. He's a 2-year varsity player.
Jake is a 2-year varsity player.
He's been a great teammate and leader.
Jake is the friendliest kid on the team.
He's planning to enlist in the Air Force to become a pilot. Jake Began, one of the seniors.
Next, Tommy Bertha Savage.
Jake Began is 6'1" senior, and now the second one, Tommy Bertha Savage, who is number 14 in the program, a 5'11" senior guard. He'd like to thank his parents, Ron and Elizabeth Bertha Savage, and grandfather, Ron. He is also a 2-year varsity player. Been a great as a starter and off the bench. And he is planning to study business at a 4-year university.
Starter and off the bench. He was recently voted.
And we've seen him
When he turned 21,
a number of times having some big shots and some big games. And this Lebanon team is really well known as spreading the ball around. Obviously, they've got some shooters, they've got some stars, but as we see, 8 seniors, they know how to spread the ball around.
Yeah, whenever we've seen them, I mean, you have their leading scorer, and you look and you're like, 9 points? Like, their leading score is not even in double figures, and that's actually a good thing. I mean, if you can do that and win, it shows how much depth your team really has.
So the next senior is Logan Balzerano. He has a brother who's a sophomore on the team, and Logan is, excuse me.
So Logan is a 4-year varsity player. He's been an excellent leader.
Logan is a 6'1" guard.
We became a much better team when he
Wants to thank his parents Stacy and Tad and his brother Braden.
Teammate and brother Braden.
Yes, teammate and brother Braden. And he's been an excellent leader, as Coach Maddie says. He leads by example as well by word. We became a much better team when he came back from his wrist injury, says Coach Keith Maddie. He is a 4-year varsity player, and he's most likely going to be the valedictorian, and he is planning to attend Johns Hopkins to play soccer. Not a bad next step, and that is senior Logan Balzerano. Next senior, John Nolte, who is a 5'10" senior guard. He wants to thank his parents Paula and Neil Nolte, brother Chris, and sister Julia.
He's a great guy to have.
And as Keith Maddie says, he's a great guy to have in the locker room, always positive and embraced his role, and has had a very positive impact on the teams. He will study at UNH or Keene State to study history. Anthony Perello is the next senior. Perello is a 5'11" senior guard. Wants to thank his meme Anne LaFlamme and brothers Chris and Max. Anthony is a 2-year varsity player, battled hard in practice to make the starters better. Anthony is an example of a really good player accepting a role to make his team better, says Coach Keith Maddie. And he is planning to attend a 4-year university to study business.
You need those glue guys to be successful. I'm sure he's a big part of it.
And you do at any level. I mean, you talk about it all the way up. We hear about it at the pro level. The practice squad guys who mimic the defense or mimic the opposition to get the starters better. And it is an important position. I know it's not as exciting and not all the glory, but you know it's nice to be appreciated. And clearly, Keith Maddie appreciates it.
Well said.
And here's a familiar name and face, Wade Rainey. He is a 4-year varsity player and the team captain. Rainey is a 6'1" senior forward. Wants to thank his parents Ron and Margaret, sisters Sally and Mary, and Sally is a member of the girls' high school Lebanon team. And as Coach Keith Maddie says, Wade has exemplified what you want in a leader on your team. He is completely dedicated to the success of the team, plays for his teammates and his school. He's planning to attend a 4-year university to study journalism. Caleb Smith is the next senior. He is a 6'3" senior forward. Caleb Smith wants to thank his parents Ian and Audra Smith and sister Molly and grandparents. Molly Smith on the basketball team as well, I believe, in girls basketball. As Coach Keith Maddie says, Caleb is the toughest kid we have on the team. He is fearless and gives us an edge that all great teams. He is also the funniest. Caleb is a 4-year varsity player. He's planning to go to Colgate University.
You don't get a lot of 4-year varsity players, so I mean that just shows how good he's been for a long time.
Yeah, and you have had a couple of those on this Keith Maddie squad, but a lot of it is the depth. And here's another one coming up. Speaking of depth, where you have.
So Josh, he played 2 years of basketball, and then he's looking to pursue a career in coaching. So he moved over to work with the kids in a different way, and he's been invaluable. He co-coached our freshman team, and he's had a great impact on our program. John Williman.
John Williman is the last one here. Trying to find it. The last one is
John would like to thank his parents.
maybe a
John Williman, his family, coaches, and team.
He's a team manager. They said, yeah, he's not on the roster.
Okay.
He played 2 years and
Okay.
decided to go more the management route and
Yep.
looks to do that in his future.
Okay, thank you for jumping in there. I thought I was missing something on the script. So this one here's John Williman, another familiar name and face. Senior captain, 6'2", wants to thank his parents, Don and Dory Williman, family coaches and teammates.
And you know he'll make an impact today.
Yes, he will. We know he is one of the guys who always shows up on the box score. Coach Maddie says, I don't know what to say about John. It's always special when your best player is your nicest kid. John has been a 4-year varsity player. John is a captain and has over 900 career points, and John is being recruited by multiple colleges to play basketball next year. He's planning to attend a 4-year university to study business. And the 900 points, obviously 1,000 points is a big number, and that's kind of that round number everybody wants to get to. But on a team with so much talent, 900 points is still pretty darn good.
I mean, they just don't play the style of those teams that have like one main ball handler, and they like you said, share the ball. The scoring is kind of spread throughout the entire lineup, and Williman plays into that. He might be the best player on the team, but he does it more than just scoring points, and I'm sure on certain other teams he could be a 1,000-point scorer.
And now
I think he's got 2 games left, 2 50-point games.
That's true. Well, hey, I think they count postseason points.
I think they do too.
And it's not, where it's just a regular season record. So if he's got, he has over 900 career points. Unfortunately, I don't know exactly how many he has, but you're right, 2 games here. I would imagine you've got at least 2 games in the playoffs.
Guaranteed one.
Right, he's got an outside shot maybe to get there. So
we're rooting for you, John.
We'll see what happens. So some of the cheerleaders, Zoe Gatto, accompanied by mother Stacey Gatto, father John Gatto, stepfather Joe Dubuque, will be going to an undecided college to study nursing. And
Last but not least, Adara Green.
the first one was Isabella Liss, accompanied by Aunt Kathy
Adara is accompanied by her mother Sarah.
LeMay, Uncle Greg LeMay. And now here is Adara Greenstein, accompanied by her mother Sarah Greenstein, grandmother Rosie Greenstein, grandfather Louis Greenstein, and she will be going to an undecided college majoring in marine biology. So 3 senior cheerleaders and the 8 seniors on the roster, plus the team manager for the Lebanon Raiders, and that is going to conclude Lebanon. Trying to get a picture here. I think they are going to, I'm not sure if they were going to mention the Hollis-Brookline, but we'll get the Hollis-Brookline seniors and mention them on the other side of the break. We will take a short break here, and when we come back, mention the Hollis-Brookline seniors and preview a little bit more of the game tonight between the Cavaliers and the Raiders. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week.
No matter what season it is, you can always find the best in American and Italian cuisine at Bubba's Bar and Grill in Newbury, New Hampshire. Stop in to enjoy our fresh salads, hearty sandwiches, brick oven pizzas, the award-winning seafood chowder, and a new seasonal menu just right for the cooler months. Dine in or take out. You can check out our full lunch and dinner menus along with daily specials on our website each day as well. Bubba's Bar and Grill, just 2 miles from Mount Sunapee in the beautiful harbor of Newbury, New Hampshire.
At H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating, we sell, install, tune, and repair heating and cooling systems and deliver your fuel oil and propane. But we're much more. H.R. Clough installs water conditioning systems to purify your water and add life to your hot water heating system. Now is the perfect time for one of our expert staff to evaluate your needs. For a free estimate, call H.R. Clough today. Over 4 generations of local ownership and dependable service.
There once was a haunted house. People said they had heard voices, but no one dared to go inside.
there's a place for wood in your backyard. We recommend the fire pit. For looks and performance that outlast a wooden deck, make sure your next deck is built with Trex, the world's #1 premium decking brand.
Trex products are available at LaValley Middleton Building Supply. Visit us at lavalleys.com.
I had broken my humerus. I went home in the care of the VNA, and I met a group of women that I'll never forget. All of them were, in a way, just the most therapeutic and totally understanding people I think I've ever met.
Lake Sunapee Region VNA and Hospice is your locally managed nonprofit home health care provider. It's your choice. Ask for us by name when home is where you want to be.
The New Hampshire Heritage Collection by M.J. Harrington Jewelers is imagined and designed by our craftsmen, inspired by the natural beauty and special places that make New Hampshire extraordinary. The Old Man of the Mountain, Common Loon, Covered Bridge, Sap Bucket, and New Hampshire Lakes collection are tributes to the story of the Granite State, made in America, handcrafted, uniquely yours, from M.J. Harrington Jewelers.
Warner's Main Street Bookends has been your community bookstore since 1998 and voted Yankee Magazine's Editor's Pick Must-See Bookstore. Bookends is a full-service store offering a huge selection of current fiction and nonfiction with children's book selection, toys, and games. Bookends has a huge card selection for all occasions, along with Main Street Marketplace and Gallery in the attached barn. 100% solar, Main Street Bookends of Warner is building your community one book at a time.
Why is it? Welcome back. YCN Game of the Week. Jeremy Stout, Scott Quimby. Just about 5 minutes, as you see there, before tip-off of the senior night here in Lebanon. And just announcing all the seniors for the Lebanon Raiders. And over on the Hollis-Brookline Cavaliers side, they do have a number of seniors. We'll just mention those. Number 10, 6'3", Ryan Coutu. Number 11, 5'9", Brian Holroyd. Number 12, 6'4", Grant Snyder. Number 13, 6'3", Maxwell Staplefeld. Number 14, 6'4", Sander Wimmer. Number 24, 5'11", Connor Russell. Number 25, 6'6", Henry Boudreau. And number 30, 6'4", Quentin Wimmer. Hollis-Brookline Cavaliers coached by Cole Etten. As we mentioned, champs here in 2018. He won a championship with Bishop Brady in 2015. So they obviously have a very successful program. And as we mentioned, this game is going to go a long way in the standings. You mentioned it earlier. If Hollis-Brookline wins, they're both tied 14-3, 14-3. Lebanon clearly with the tougher game coming up, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, Milford is, 9-8, I believe. I mean, they're not a slouch of a team, but certainly a more winnable game for Hollis-Brookline than Lebanon, who's playing a Hanover team that has actually beat them. So.
Yeah, so if Lebanon loses this game, it goes to 14-3. They are in danger of dropping down all the way to maybe number 6. That would probably, right there at 14-3, would put them in a tie for 4th, losing the tiebreaker to be in 5th, and then they could fall down because they got to travel and play Hanover. When you've got Pelham, who is right there with one more game left, they could win. So it's a big game for obviously both teams, but I don't know if I want to say it's bigger for Lebanon, but it's just because Milford's a little easier for Hollis-Brookline, you might say it's a little easier or a little bit more important for Lebanon to win this game.
I would. They have more to lose. I mean, Lebanon actually. I mean, if they win out, if they beat Hollis-Brookline and then beat Hanover, I believe they will end up as the 3rd seed.
Yep.
Hanover's already played their second to last game. Their only game they have left is against Lebanon.
Right.
So it's a little tricky to tell with the ratings and stuff, but I'm pretty certain that if Lebanon beats Hanover, they get the 3 seed. From what I was told earlier. So. Yeah, I mean, this is big for Lebanon. The 3 seed versus potentially falling all the way down to 6 is quite a fall with just 2 games left.
And on the Hollis-Brookline side, we mentioned, what did you say, they came in 11 straight wins. They had a stretch of 4 straight games at home. They did beat Hanover, and that was Hanover's first loss. Because remember, Hanover was undefeated when they came here to Lebanon. They won on the buzzer beater in overtime, the 3-pointer from Hank Pikus, which really surprised everyone, I think. If you remember, it was a deep 3. I don't know anyone was expecting to be taken that deep, but the win And then they lost to this Hollis-Brookline team. So this Hollis-Brookline team, even though they're on the road, they travel, and it's going to be a tough one tonight for Lebanon.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's going to be a tough one for both teams. I mean, the thing you said with the Hanover-Lebanon game, and then obviously with Hollis-Brookline beating Hanover, I mean, the top teams in this league are all pretty close together. They're pretty evenly matched. You know, I don't think Bow exactly blew out either of these teams. Well, they put it to Lebanon pretty good, and but they Bow. Okay, I take it back. They beat Hollis-Brookline by 14. So I guess maybe.
But I don't think they're that much. I don't think the score is indicative of how much better they are.
Correct. My point is that these top 6-7 teams in this division, Division 2, are all really good, and anybody I think can beat anybody on any given night. There's a lot of any's right there in that sentence, but anything's possible.
We'll take it. So we're inside a minute before the starting lineups and the national anthem and the tip-off, so we'll take our final break before tip-off. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week.
Welcome to Yankee Chronicle. I'm your host, Elizabeth Durazio.
And I'm your host, Abby Peel.
Coming to you from the town of Hopkinton.
Coming to you from the New London Barn Playhouse. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for coming on this beautiful day.
Beautiful day. Perfect spring day.
We've been here as a staple in many of the communities. And
so many people that you get to meet and a wonderful community that you feel like you're always welcome in.
With this great opportunity of opening a restaurant that's really community focused.
So join us again next week
for a new edition of Yankee Chronicle.
Coaches and officials.
Welcome back. Being set for the starting lineups here.
At this time, please give a Raider Nation welcome to the Cavaliers.
And the Cavaliers of Hollis-Brookline, as the visitors will be introduced first.
Here is their starting lineup. Starting guard, number 5.
Number 5, the junior guard, Adam Razzaboni.
At guard, number 10, Ryan Kutu.
Number 10, Ryan Kutu, 6'3", senior.
At forward, number 12, Grant
Number
Snyder.
12, Grant Snyder, the 6'4", senior.
At forward, number 13, Max Staplefeld.
Maxwell Staplefeld, the 6'3", senior, number 13. And rounding out the starting lineup, number 14, Sander Wimmer, 6'4", standout senior.
A lot of size on that Cavalier team.
Yeah.
Big team. Even on their bench, they got Wimmer at 6'4", Boudreau at 6'6". Big team.
And I believe Wimmer is on the football team as well, and he is a big force, physical force. So the Lebanon Raiders will have to deal with him. And now the starting lineup for the Lebanon Raiders. Number 10, Logan Balzerano, senior guard, 6'1". Number 12, John Williman, 6'2", senior guard. Number 14, Tommy Bertha Savage, senior guard, 5'11". Number 22, Wade Rainey, senior forward, 6'1". And rounding out the starting lineup, number 35, the senior forward, Caleb Smith, 6'3". So there are the starting lineups. We'll take a break for the national anthem and come back with a tip-off from Lebanon on the YCN Game of the Week.
Welcome to Yankee Chronicle. I'm your host, Elizabeth Durazio.
And I'm your host, Abby Peel.
Coming to you from the town of Hopkinton.
Coming to you from the New London Barn Playhouse. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for coming on this beautiful day.
Beautiful day. Perfect spring day.
We've been here as a staple in many of the communities. And
so many people that you get to meet and a wonderful community that you feel like you're always welcome in.
With this great opportunity of opening a restaurant that's really community focused.
So join us again next week
for a new edition of Yankee Chronicle.
Simple solutions in a challenging world. Let Echo Communications make your life simpler. From the beginning, creating design through the commercial print process and ending with custom mailing, all easily coordinated in one place. Echo Communications provides simple solutions in a challenging world. One place, many solutions. Learn more at echocominc.com.
No matter what season it is, you can always find the best in American and Italian cuisine at Bubba's Bar and Grill in Newbury, New Hampshire. Stop in to enjoy our fresh salads, hearty sandwiches, brick oven pizzas, the award-winning seafood chowder, and a new seasonal menu just right for the cooler months. Dine in or take out. You can check out our full lunch and dinner menus along with daily specials on our website each day as well. Bubba's Bar and Grill, just 2 miles from Mount Sunapee in the beautiful harbor of Newbury, New Hampshire.
8 minutes on the clock. Both starting lineups have been announced. National anthem just completed, and we are ready for tip-off. Jeremy Stout, Scott Quimby coming to you here from Lang Metcalf Gymnasium in Lebanon. The Raiders and the Cavaliers are set to do battle in the final home game of the regular season for this Raiders team.
Hopefully you folks are ready for a good one.
Wimmer and Rainey tipping it off. Good tip there, and it goes to the Cavaliers. They'll take possession, and we are underway. After all the hoopla, senior night, introductions, now it's just a basketball game between two very good teams. We mentioned at the outset of this one, both these teams fighting for that top 3 or 4 seed in Division II. First 2 rounds are at the home of the higher seed, and then they go to UNH for the semifinals and the finals. As that one is tipped away, it stays with the Cavaliers.
Yeah, it looked like Williman went off his hand in rebounding action now.
Williman and Wimmer underneath there, battling for the rebound. Get the ball in, this time to Staplefeld, who'll swing it back to the point to Razzaboni. Now, trying to take his man off the dribble. Nice left hand there from Snyder, and he gets it to go.
Yeah, that was a good patient drive by Snyder, and then got his left hand open and got an easy hoop. Hollis-Brookline's first 2 possessions, nice and patient.
Now Lebanon will try and mirror that as they swing the ball around. We've mentioned that this team, no superstar on a night-to-night basis. It's just a different guy each night. They all have the ability to score. The left hand there off the mark there from Rainey. And the Cavaliers looking to run, but they'll have to slow it down and pull it back out. 3-point attempt off the mark, no good, but the offensive rebound and kept alive, ultimately getting it out to Razzaboni, who misses a 3, gets his own shot, his own rebound, and maybe a little rush on that one.
Yeah, I think he thought he was going to have a little more room there, and got surprised the defender closed so quick and kind of just, I don't know, hope for a foul.
Williman calling out the play, gets it to Rainey. Tries to find a cutting Smith, but he's covered up, so they get it to Falzerano, who really runs this offense, doesn't score a lot. Good floor general, though. And a little aggressive on the defensive side. That foul is going to go against Staplefeld, trying to get into Falzerano.
Definitely got a good bump on him there in Falzerano, and easy call for the refs. You could physically see Falzerano get jolted by that bump.
Now they got it back in. Williman there on the drive and the kick. Swing it around the perimeter, and Falzerano has to back it out. The 3-point attempt, no good from Rainey, and it falls away.
Pretty good ball movement there, and they got a good look for Rainey. Just didn't fall. Most of the games we've done so far, Jeremy, I think we've had slow starts in almost all of them.
Yeah, this Lebanon team sometimes takes a while to find themselves, but even for the Cavaliers, obviously the nice drive off the left hand. Snyder, other than that, nothing going down for the Cavaliers. Snyder eyeing them up, but passing back out to Staplefeld. Gets it back to Snyder, then over the corner. Really good defense here by the Raiders, really denying anything in play. And then the steal coming here from Bertha Savage. He'll go all the way for the bucket. Good denial there on the Lebanon Raiders defensive side, and then stepping into the passing lane is Bertha Savage. And
yeah, he took the turnover and turned it right into transition and got an easy fast break lay-in.
In and out there from Razaboni, and the offensive rebound and the putback. Number 23, Robert Haitana with his first basket, 4-2.
Now Haitana didn't start this game. They're already going to their bench for Hollis-Brookline.
Only 3.5 minutes into this one, into the bench. Deep three attempt from Willabin. That'll be off the back iron, and Haitana puts the body in there, 6'2" junior. Got some size, and he can go up and grab it, as he did there. Nice double team along the baseline, denying the baseline.
Yeah, I think Lebanon's done a nice job looking at their scouting report, knowing Snyder's the guy they got to stop, and that's why right there he finds a way to get to the middle, even with the defense focusing on him, and it's a back rim jumper.
Yeah, nice little pull-up jumper there. A good weapon to have in your arsenal, and that's going to be foul along the baseline against the Cavaliers. They're going to call that one on Kutu as he was trying to cut off the ball handler. This Lebanon Hollis-Brookline game is being brought to you in part by Echo Communications. Call them for all your printing needs. All our schedules and live broadcasts can be found at our website, YCNnow.com. 6-2 our score in the early going. All Cavaliers, really, except the one made basket on the breakaway from Bertha Savage after the turnover.
Yeah, Lebanon's gotten some looks so far. They just haven't got them to fall, and there's another missed layup there. It was not an easy one, up and under, but still a makeable shot.
Yeah, that half-court offense really hasn't come to life yet for the Raiders. And we see entered into this game is Brian Holroyd.
A constant string of substitutions for this Hollis-Brookline team. They got two more guys at the scorer's table now. Not afraid to go to their bench.
It'll be Ethan Smith and Quentin Wimmer. 6'4" senior, and Ethan Smith, 5'8" junior.
You also see Brian Holroyd out there.
That last call was traveling. Trying to fast break it, but nice defense by the Cavaliers, setting themselves up, forcing the deep shot, and a three-pointer from the corner, no good. Jackson Stone just entered. He'll misfire.
That quick transition actually got Jackson Stone a good look from the corner, and if you're shooting threes, that's where you want to shoot them, from the corner. And I think Lebanon's going to have to try to push the pace if they want to get some points on the board.
Coach Keith Matty asking for a call on the sideline. I don't know if he just thought a little bit too much physicality, because there is a lot of it going on as the missed shot inside. Rebound goes to the Raiders. Continuing to talk to the refs after that dead ball whistle.
Well, I mean, Hollis-Brookline's going to want to play physical. They're obviously the team with a lot more size, which is why it's so important for Lebanon to get out there and run and push the pace and try to get transition baskets.
2:20 to play here in the first quarter. Nice inside pass, and that one Jackson Stone is able to convert for two. 6-4. Lebanon has done a nice job on the defensive side. Just one too many possessions, and that one from Quentin Wimmer is good, leaving him wide open in the middle.
That was a fantastic look by Grant Snyder there to find him.
And then on the turnover, looks like a timeout on the floor as Cole Etten wants to talk it over. We'll take a break. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week.
At H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating, we sell, install, tune, and repair heating and cooling systems and deliver your fuel oil and propane. But we're much more. With more frequent major weather events, don't say again, I should have installed a generator. H.R. Clough provides the best home generator systems available from Generac. Our highly trained personnel provide you a complete turnkey installation. For a free estimate, call the H.R. Clough Company today. Over 4 generations of local ownership and dependable service.
Welcome back, YCN Game of the Week. Jeremy Stout, Scott Quimby here in Lebanon. This game is being brought to you in part by William A. Smith Auction Gallery, who hosts 45 auctions yearly, many in their auction house in Plainfield, New Hampshire. Check out their schedule on their website at wsmithauction.com. And it's Hollis-Brookline leading Lebanon here, 8-4. Nice pass inside, but they're going to get the traveling violation against Quentin Wimmer. Just an extra step trying to go up for the layup.
Yeah, Holroyd made a great little drive there and a nice pass to him, but unfortunately Wimmer called for that extra step.
Here's Falzerano trying to shake off the pesky defender, Ethan Smith, and then Smith getting a little aggressive. And he's going to get called for the foul, but you see Cole Etten, coach of the Cavaliers, asking the ref, what about the arm bar that Falzerano was kind of given as he dribbled up the court?
It is something to note, though. That's the second time they've done that, in this quarter, and it's 3 fouls to none right now. We'll see if that comes into play. 3's not bad at this stage, but that could be a factor.
Yeah, and that's going to be another foul.
Yeah, now that's the 4th. So
the 4th foul against the Cavaliers. It looks like that is going to go against Ethan Smith. That is his 2nd foul. So he's picked up quick 2 fouls, and Cole Etten's going to get somebody up off the bench, and looks like Kutu might be ready to check back in. Here's Falzerano. He's got an opening, but wisely kicks out to the open corner. No good on the 3-point attempt from Calvin Bates.
I gotta believe at this stage that Lebanon doesn't feel terrible the way their offense is played. Obviously the shots aren't falling, but they're getting some looks, primarily from 3-point land, but they're open, and you gotta think at some point some of these open shots are gonna start falling.
Inside a minute to play here, and their defense has really played well. I mean, obviously they're on the short end of the score, but only 8 points so far in 7+ minutes of basketball.
Yeah, you only got 2 hoops in the entire quarter, and you're down 4 points. So
right.
There's nothing to panic about, that's for sure. And now they create a turnover on defense yet again.
Yeah, I think that's the 3rd traveling violation, at least, that they have called against all.
And more impressive is Lebanon's defense is doing this without a single foul. So
right.
We'll have to keep an eye on those fouls, like I mentioned a few minutes ago.
And their defense really had single-handedly got 2 of the points on the foul or the steal, as we see the lay-in from Falzerano. He gets a rare break to the hoop.
Yeah, we'll take a look at the shot here, but Falzerano, as they battle right on the boards there, they create a little bit of space in the lane, and he just took advantage of it and went for it.
And that 3-point attempt from the corner, no good, but the nice rebound there from Williman. They'll go back to the hole with 5 seconds to go. They hit the shot. That's Hansen with his first basket, and that ties it up at 8 apiece at the end of 1 from Lebanon, New Hampshire. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week.
I gotta.
There's a big difference between a big box store and a LaValle Middleton building supply.
When you're a local store, you need to compete with the bigger chains. So we've combined our purchasing power with over 300 independent lumberyard and home centers, and we've passed those savings on to you.
Our customers have grown up with our stores, and now their kids are shopping here with our kids.
We have everything you need for any home improvement project you can think of.
And the possibilities are endless.
If we had a motto, it would be neighbors helping neighbors build a community.
I had broken my humerus. I went home in the care of the VNA, and I met a group of women that I'll never forget. All of them were, in a way, just the most therapeutic and totally understanding people I think I've ever met.
Lake Sunapee Region VNA and Hospice is your locally managed nonprofit home health care provider. It's your choice. Ask for us by name when home is where you want to be.
Welcome back. Start of the second quarter here in Lebanon, where the Cavaliers and the Raiders are deadlocked at 8 apiece. In a tightly defended first quarter, another three-point attempt there from the Raiders. Williman can't get it to fall. Inside, just a little too deep, but nice kick out there. Three-point attempt, no good. And the Raiders recover. So in that first quarter, 4 different players scoring for the Raiders. Jackson Stone, Logan Falzerano, Karsten Hansen, and Tommy Bertha Savage. As we see the three-pointer right there, Lebanon's first lead.
Karsten Hansen maybe getting a little bit hot here. He scored at the end of the quarter and follows it up with a three-pointer to start this one.
5 straight points, and inside, off the back iron, no good, and the rebound to Caleb Smith. Smith, oh, they wanted to call a travel there, but ref said no. The 15-foot jumper, no good.
I think Caleb Smith should have probably pulled that one up from 3. He had a great catch and shoot opportunity. Instead, he kind of took it to the corner at the free throw line, and it became a little more contested because of it.
Immediately double teamed, but nice size inside from Heitana, and he's got 4.
Off the bench, and I believe he's their leading scorer, right?
Yes, him and Snyder have 4 apiece, so out of the 8, or those 8, and then Quentin Wimmer with 2 more. And Lebanon with the lead, 11-10. They got the lead on that last possession. Karsten Hansen hit the 3 to give them their first lead of the night.
Really, both teams' benches are giving them kind of the offensive spark here. The starting lineups came out quite ice cold.
And another foul. This one's going to be against Staplefeld, the senior, 6'3". That'll be his second foul and the team's 5th foul.
Yeah, he's upset with the call. I mean, he certainly anticipated the pass and could have stole it, but it looked like he got a little bit of arm there and was called for the reach.
A little bit of contact, and refs clearly are calling this one tight so far, but give credit, as you've mentioned, to Lebanon. No fouls yet, and despite playing such tight defense. And then under the hoop there, Williman can't get it to go, but it'll stay with the Raiders.
Yeah, Hollis-Brookline did a great job there converging on Williman. He was under the hoop and really he couldn't go up left or right without the shot being contested.
And Heitana coming down with another big rebound. So he's been a good presence for them inside, as you mentioned, off the bench, getting some key rebounds and obviously the 4 points. Snyder, he'll look to drive against Caleb Smith. A little pull-up inside the lane, no good. Heitana pulls it down, goes back, but he's blocked by Stone.
Terrific block there by Stone, well done.
And then on the run-out, no good on the three-pointer. Offensive rebound, and the putback by Rainey.
And that's Lebanon taking advantage, a quick transition there. A great push up the court, got a good look, and an offensive rebound.
Hansen picked up the block, got the outlet pass, and then eventually Rainey gets it. And there's another traveling call. Razabani with a travel.
Yeah, I think Razabani, I mean, he had Hansen right behind him there. I think he was a little bit worried about getting his shot blocked, so he was kind of hesitating and shuffling his feet before he went up with it. And, you know, a nice job by Hansen to keep his feet planted and keep his hands up in the air to create another traveling turnover.
Smith finds Karsten Hansen in the corner, then kicking it back to Smith. Nice little drive, baseline, Hansen, another one. He's got 7.
And this is one reason why Lebanon might not be so worried about losing all these seniors next year. You see Junior Hansen kind of taking this game over.
Giving the crowd a little preview of what's to come next year, as he will be one of only a handful of seniors next year. They're going to say no foul, both of you get up, and now the ref is going to
Both players are looking for the foul. Both of them looking at the ref with their hands in the air, and let's see what he eventually called.
He's going to call double fouls.
Which I'm okay with. Both guys were kind of wrestling with each other. They were both looking for the foul. It just got mixed up. No sense of pointing that one either way.
So they are going to have a timeout on the floor with 4:20 to play. Lebanon leading this one 15-10. We'll take a break. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week.
Someone once said that trust is always earned, never given. With a 70-year heritage of diamond expertise, MJ Harrington Jewelers has earned the trust and respect of loyal customers for generations. Whether the occasion is a new beginning of life together or celebrating a decade's deep love, the professionals at Harrington's take time to understand our customers' dreams, then turn those dreams into exquisite reality. At MJ Harrington Jewelers, trust is as precious as the fine diamonds we offer. We look forward to earning your trust.
Welcome back. Out of the double fouls, and the inbound is stolen by the Raiders. And so that last one, double foul call. You're right, both players were fighting. They fell down. The ref looked at them and said, no, get up, there's no foul. And then once they got up, there was a little bit more pushing and shoving. And the ref called one there as Balzerano misses the
Yeah, I totally agree with the ref not to call that one either way. I don't think it would have been fair for either player in that situation. So, it was a good job by the officials.
And he laid off the first time because they both clearly felt and both looked at the ref asking for the foul, and he looked back at them.
They kind of fought as they were getting up a little bit more hand fighting. So,
and that's when he gave him a shot, but you can't let it get out of control. And as a nice pass there, and Snyder, with the bucket.
Yeah, I mean, that was Lebanon kind of trying something a little different on the defensive end, and it clearly didn't work out. Hollis-Brookline made some great passes down the court and got a wide open layup. Easy offense right there.
Smith driving baseline, but he's shut down. And then going inside is Hansen, no good. They're going to have a jump ball, and it's going to go back to the Cavaliers. So
yeah, back to what Lebanon was just doing on defense. I mean, it's one thing to try the full court press and all that, but you're still going to have the guys that are back defended. Because if that inbound pass comes in, you're going to leave a wide open 3-on-1, and that's what we saw.
With a chance to tie it up, Cavaliers. It was 8-8 at the end of the first quarter, then a three-pointer from Hansen to give the Raiders the 11-8 lead. They haven't looked back in the second quarter. Driving, trying to draw some contact, no good on the shot from Staplefeld, and here come the Raiders again looking to break.
Yeah, a little wild by Staplefeld. He kind of got trapped by the Lebanon defense, and he was spinning around on his pivot foot looking for something and couldn't find it. But good defense by Hollis-Brookline on the other end against Wade Rainey there.
Yeah, Rainey trying to go up. He kind of got caught in the air, and then using his left hand threw it over the hoop. Backing down the defender, a little bit of contact there, no foul, now he's on the ground, and Snyder.
Not where you want to go down, right under the hoop where guys jumping around. It's a good place to get stepped on. Jump ball called though, and the Raiders will get the possession arrow.
Physical from Snyder underneath. No foul call. Raiders basketball here and a three-point lead as we approach 2:10 to play in the quarter. Nice fake and a drive, left hand from Rainey. He's got 4, the lead's up to 5.
Yeah, he's got terrific acceleration on that move. He kind of gets that first step on his defender and just blows right by him.
The YCN scoreboard sponsors LaValle Building Supply, home improvement and construction from concept to completion. Remodel, repair, renovate, no matter what your building material needs are, LaValle's has it. Inside 2 minutes here, a little bit wild, it doesn't quite roll in, and then Quittenwimmer coming in late, tipping it out of bounds to go back to the Raiders.
Going back to that first quarter, I had mentioned Lebanon had only 4 points at the time. They were getting a lot of good shots, and they still are, and they're starting to go. And their defense, though, like Hollis-Brookline, on the other hand, has not been getting a lot of easy shots. They've been very well contested, and we're starting to see the momentum swing on the scoreboard here finally.
Yeah, very low-scoring game, but especially for this Cavaliers squad. Only 4 points in nearly 7 minutes in this second quarter. Trying to swipe and a little too aggressive, leaves an opening for Williman. His first basket, and the lead is up to 7. Watch the defender trying to sneak the ball here.
And this is just a beautiful look, though. Look at this pass. And beautiful cut. That's nice timing right there.
Good play by the Raiders. Take advantage.
It's easy to start hitting your shot when you start getting some wide open layups, isn't it?
That'll be the case.
That'll help your shooting percentage.
And here's a 3 knocked down by Snyder. He has 9 points now out of the team's 15.
He's really carrying the score for this team right now. They need some other people to step up.
3-point attempt off the mark from Williman. Now, as we are at about 30 seconds to play in the quarter, or in the half, excuse me. Maybe Hollis-Brookline looks to hold and cut it to a 1-possession game going into the locker room. But they get an opening with the left hand. No good. The offensive putback from Quentin Wimmer. So it's that 1-possession game that the Cavaliers wanted. Now they need to get a stop here. 10 seconds to play before the half. Balzerano back to Williman. He shoots the 3 off the mark, and that is going to do it. So at the half, we've got a good one here in Lebanon, where the Raiders lead the Cavaliers 19-17 at the half.
Why is it always time for pizza in New England? Because Ramonto's brick oven pizzas are popping up everywhere. With dough made fresh daily and baked in brick ovens, plus pasta, sandwiches, and artisan salads always from fresh ingredients, you're never far from good times and great food at Ramonto's. Ramonto's brick oven pizzas are the locally owned restaurants that make freshness taste so good. Want a piece of the pie? Visit Ramontos.com for franchise opportunities.
William A. Smith Auction Gallery hosts 45 auctions a year. Our customer base is worldwide, and our reputation is for honesty and fairness.
Right there, $5,000, $3,000. I got 2 there, thank you. 20.
Join us for one of our live auctions. Check out the auction schedule on our website. Auction day is lively and fun.
Sold $3,381. Yeah, sold $253. Sold $850 straight away.
We look forward to seeing you on auction day.
Welcome to Yankee Chronicle. I'm your host, Elizabeth Durazio, and
I'm your host, Abby Peel.
Coming to you from the town of Hopkinton.
Coming to you from the New London Barn Playhouse. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for coming on this beautiful day.
Beautiful day, perfect spring day.
We've been here as a staple in many of the communities. And
so many people that you get to meet and a wonderful community that you feel like you're always welcome in.
With this great opportunity of opening a restaurant that's really community focused.
So join us again next week
for a new edition of Yankee Chronicle.
To me, it was a no-brainer to switch to the Anderson 400 series window.
From the exterior of the house, you can't tell which windows are old and which windows are new. They're really very compatible.
I really appreciate the energy efficiency of the 400 series.
Anderson, in my opinion, is the heavyweight champ.
Welcome back. Halftime here in Lebanon, where the Raiders currently lead the Cavaliers of Hollis-Brookline 19-17. Jeremy Stout, Scott Quimby on the call. Monday night as the next to last game of the season for both these teams. As we talked about at the onset, very important for both of them. Top team, or the winner of this one, gets in that top 4 pretty much locked in. So the Raiders started slow, but they've really come alive after being down. I think at one point it was 8-4, and now they lead it by 2. But that second quarter, even though it was only 11-9 Raiders, it looked like they really dominated.
Yeah, I mean, here's what they're doing really well. I mean, they're playing tremendous defense so far. They're not turning the ball over, and they're not committing fouls. And that's really the reason why they have the lead. I mean, they got a lot of good looks. They weren't hitting shots particularly early in the game, and you know, it kind of had them fall behind a little bit early. Hollis-Brookline seems to have, you know, higher field goal percentage, maybe a little bit bigger, stronger team, better on the offensive boards, but you know, they're making the mistakes. We saw many travels from Hollis-Brookline, and you know, those are obviously big swings in the game.
Yeah, a big way to lose when you're on the road is to turn the ball over, which Hollis-Brookline has done, and foul.
Mm-hmm.
And now, of course, there have been no free throws yet shot, so they've kept their fouls under the bonus number, and they haven't been shooting fouls, but that doesn't mean that the fouls aren't going to add up for the individuals, and then late in this game, a defensive foul. You've got a guy there with 4 fouls.
It could become a factor at some point. I mean, I know obviously the fouls don't carry over to the second half for the team, but they do for the players, and that could be a factor in the game. Overall, there wasn't that many fouls that ended up being called in the game. The refs are letting them play physical. We're seeing a lot of bodies on the floor. Generally, you would think that would help the Cavaliers, the bigger, stronger team, rather than the smaller, quicker Lebanon high school team. But the Cavaliers seem to be the ones kind of fouling, lunging at the quicker guys and maybe knocking them around a little too hard.
So over on the Lebanon side, the leading scorer is Karsten Hansen with 7 points. He hit the basket to end the first quarter and start the third quarter. So he had a quick little flurry there. And then
he came out red hot here to start the second quarter.
So he's got 7 points. Wade Rainey with 4, and then we've got Jackson Stone, Logan Falzerano, John Williman, and Tommy Bertha Savage with 2. So as we said, spreading the points around.
Spread them out. That's 6 guys that scored in the first half, and 7 is a pretty good showing for Hansen. They came all within like a 3-minute span, though. Right. So, I mean, it's not going to be one guy for this team. I wouldn't be surprised if Hansen didn't score again the rest of this game. I mean, it's just the way this team plays.
And we've seen that before where a guy will get hot, he'll hit some shots, and then kind of go quiet because they do have so many other scorers on the other side, the Hollis-Brookline Cavaliers.
I mean, nothing against Hansen. He's a great player.
Right,
I just mean
there's enough scorers.
It's not their style to rely on one guy. They're going to spread it out, and, any guy that's on the court can score at any time for that Lebanon team.
And it looks like on the Cavaliers side, though, they're really trying to get the ball inside. And Grant Snyder, he's got 9 points. He leads all players. He's had a couple nice inside shots. He opened the scoring for the team, and he had a 3-pointer there towards the end of that quarter. So he's clearly the focal point. But Haytana has 4. Big man off the bench. He can get inside and get some rebounds, and he's got a couple of baskets. And then Quentin Wimmer, another big guy, 6'4" senior, he's got some points. So there's, they've only got 3 scorers. So they probably are a little bit more limited in the number of scorers. But, I mean, if Snyder gets hot, you can see he has the ability to carry a team.
Yeah, I mean, Snyder's definitely been the best offensive player on the court from what it appears. Lebanon's doing a great job, and we're seeing him have to kind of drive in and force a lot of shots. He's had some nice fadeaways and got some nice pull-ups in the paint there, and got his scoring going a little bit. I mean, 9's certainly a good first half output, but as much as they're relying on him offensively, they are either going to need more from him, or he's going to have to stop forcing it inside, and they're going to have to rely on some other guys to put some points on the board.
All right, it's 19-17. We got a close one here in Lebanon where the Raiders lead the Cavaliers. We'll take a break. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week.
Simple solutions in a challenging world. Let Echo Communications make your life simpler. From the beginning, creating design through the commercial print process and ending with custom mailing, all easily coordinated in one place. Echo Communications provides simple solutions in a challenging world. One place, many solutions. Learn more at echocominc.com.
No matter what season it is, you can always find the best in American and Italian cuisine at Bubba's Bar and Grill in Newbury, New Hampshire. Stop in to enjoy our fresh salads, hearty sandwiches, brick oven pizzas, the award-winning seafood chowder, and a new seasonal menu just right for the cooler months. Dine in or take out. You can check out our full lunch and dinner menus along with daily specials on our website each day as well. Bubba's Bar and Grill, just 2 miles from Mount Sunapee in the beautiful harbor of Newbury, New Hampshire.
Welcome back as we see a couple of the Lady Raiders taking some shots underneath the hoop as they will be starting their playoff journey. They are seeded number 4, And we saw them earlier this season against Hanover in that first part of that doubleheader, the second part of the doubleheader, and they could match up. Hanover and Leb, obviously on the same side of the bracket, so it would be a semifinal matchup. Unfortunately, won't be a final matchup, but if they both get there, that would be something.
Yeah, it was an excellent game we saw. We know Hanover and Lebanon are both outstanding teams in that Division II girls. Wait, I said that wrong. Girls Division II.
There you go. But
we did it.
Yeah, that tournament the brackets are set, and hopefully we'll have some of those playoff games upcoming. So we'll take our final break before the second half. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week.
You're watching the New Hampshire Association of Broadcasters' 3-time award-winning YCN Game of the Week. The YCN Game of the Week is brought to you by Top Stitch Embroidery, the best for your team, and so much more. MJ Harrington and Company, jewelers and designers since 1948. William A. Smith Auction Gallery. They host 45 auctions yearly. Check the schedule on their website. Lake Sunapee Region VNA and Hospice, providing independence for patients and peace of mind for families. HR Clough and Kearsarge Heating, your local energy specialist. Much more than a home heating provider. La Valley Building Supply, 10 retail lumber yards serving New England for over 55 years. Ramonto's Brick Oven Pizza and more, always fresh. People, food, great times await you. Baba's Bar and Grill of Newberry Harbor, where Baba wants you to know we're having a lot of fun. And Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer and mailer located in New London, New Hampshire.
Welcome back, second half. We are underway. Don't forget our next YCN game. We've been talking Lebanon-Hanover, and we will be there in Hanover as Lebanon and Hanover finish the regular season on Thursday night at 6:30 p.m. All our games are replayed Sunday at noon and anytime at YCNnow.com.
Lebanon picking up where they left off, playing some tough defense here, not allowing an easy shot. But despite that, an outstanding pull-up by Staplefield over his defender and hits it right in his face.
And it's tied at 19 now, so see if the Cavaliers can get that spark they were looking for all the way through that second quarter where they were really outplayed, only outscored by 2, but at one point they only had 4 points through 7 minutes in that second quarter. So their defense kind of kept them in it.
They absolutely did. I mean, it was a defensive battle, and that's exactly one of the things we kind of mentioned there. At halftime, Staplefield did not score a point in the first half, and he's now their 4th scorer on this team. They need to mix it up, but they also need to slow this Lebanon offense down a little bit as Williman hits the 3.
Yeah, he's got 5 now, so once again, nobody that they don't want to go to. Even Falzerano, who doesn't score a lot, he's got 2, and he's not afraid to go to the hoop. As the first foul there on the second half going to be picked up and called against the Raiders. Falzerano, he gets called for his first and the team's first. On the floor, trying to drive and get the shooting foul, but they're going to call that one on the floor, and inbound right in front of the bench. "90 seconds gone by in this third quarter. Lebanon with a 3-point lead. Cavaliers clearly trying to work the ball inside, but Lebanon denying it their every move. There's Falzerano. He'll take the switch, and now I think Cavaliers had a little bit of a mismatch, but they opted out of it, and they go inside. A nice move inside to Staplefield. He's got 4 points this half.
So he wants to be their secondary scorer here.
And he certainly has the capabilities of doing so.
Help his teammate Snyder out a little bit.
Driving baseline is Smith. Swinging it back. Falzerano thought he had an opening, tries to get to Smith, but it's stolen away by Snyder, and now the Cavaliers look to take the lead.
Yeah, good anticipation there by Snyder, but Lebanon got a little bit crazy throwing the ball across court. And how about Staplefield right now? 7 straight points. And Hollis-Brookline takes the lead.
He's got them all this third quarter with the 24-22 lead. A quick flurry, 7 points in about 2.5 minutes. Caleb Smith driving in his long arms. He's able to elude the defender.
Yeah, that was just a strong drive by Smith there. He had kind of forced his way through a few bodies. And yeah, like you said, he had the long reach and the nice touch with the right and got the 2 to tie it back up.
Driving, no good, and then the rebound pulled down by the Raiders. Nice save there by Bertha Savage, and then it ultimately goes out, but it's Lebanon basketball.
And that was Staplefield on that missed layup. He's hungry right now. He's ready to go for it. Not happy about his offer in the first half, clearly.
Quick 7 points, and we're tied at 24 apiece. Watch our Yankee Chronicle every week on this station at 8:30 p.m. on Thursday and 8 p.m. on Saturday. This coming week, YCN will be at Bella Tate's Building Materials in Andover.
Nice defense right there. Great defense.
Yeah, that's how this Hollis-Brookline team has stayed in it.
Yeah, that was a tough check.
Call a blocking foul on that one. I have to admit, I didn't get a complete view of that one.
Yeah, our view was a little bit blocked from up here. It was hard to get the exactly what happened, but I mean, that is the toughest play to officiate in all of basketball, is that block charge.
Especially with the bodies moving right underneath the hoop. So they call the foul against Williman, his second, and the team's second of this second half. 24-24, we've got a good one. Tied up at the end of the first quarter, 8-8, and then 19-17 in favor of Lebanon. And there's the deep three-pointer from Holroyd.
Holroyd got that to go. I'm not even sure how. He's in the corner, it hit backboard, and somehow found a way in. You can't bank it in from there, can you?
Only counts as 3, even though he'd like to say it was worth more in the degree of difficulty. Smith off the mark there. So now, chance to extend that lead to 2 possessions. Holroyd quickly doubled in the corner. Staplefield, no good. Williman with the rebound. Williman trying to drive baseline, by cut off nicely by Snyder, so they'll reverse the ball around.
Yeah, Lebanon didn't get what they wanted to there, so they're kind of resetting their play.
Yeah, they're patient. They'll try something else.
No shot clock. There's no sense of rushing.
Rainey splits the defenders.
Nice kick out right there.
Caleb Smith in the corner, just off the mark. And then Kutu coming up with the rebound.
That was a great play by Rainey there to drive it in and suck in Caleb Smith's man and kind of get Smith the open look from the corner. Just as we saw so many times in the first half, it didn't fall for Lebanon.
And Robert Haytana he got the foul call. He wanted it to be a shooting foul, but they're going to call it on the floor, and that's going to be the first foul against Bertha Savage and the third foul for the team for Lebanon here in the second half.
How many free throws have we gotten in this one?
I don't think we've gotten a free throw.
I don't believe so.
Nobody's in the bonus, and I don't think there's been any shooting fouls. And here's Williman from Balzerano. No good offensive rebound, and Stone puts it back in.
Stone's second hoop of the game, playing tough down low.
27-26, inside 2.5 to play in the third quarter. A game that has really never been wider than a 5-point margin. Lebanon fell behind early, came back, took the lead. Now this third quarter, it's really been all Hollis-Brookline, only a 1-point lead, but they came out of the gates firing. Haytana kind of backs his way down, maybe an extra step, but refs didn't call it. It's a bucket.
He certainly isn't the most agile guy on the court down there. He's just got a lot of strength, and he knows how to use it, and gets the space and finds a way to get that shot up.
Coach Keith Matty not happy with that one. He was giving the refs an earful as Falzerano drains the mid-range jumper from the baseline.
Falzerano shooting that one over Haitana, noting that Haitana doesn't exactly have the best vertical leap, I think, and you can shoot over him if you're one-on-one.
Haitana is going to get called for the offensive foul, and that's going to be a turnover, and that will be the first team foul of this second half for the Cavaliers. They're going to call Haitana.
I think Coach Matty over there talking about the previous possession where Haitana kind of bowled his way to the hoop. He was obviously in the official's ear a little bit. I think they were kind of looking out for it that time a little bit.
That's his first foul, as we mentioned, team's first of the half, and the 29-28 lead for the Cavaliers still. So Raiders come into this third quarter with a 2-point lead. They now find themselves down 1, and Stone off the mark there. Nice defense.
Yeah, Stone trying to post up on Haitana there again and get it over him, but he couldn't bank that one in, and Hollis-Brookline quickly moving back.
We'll get our first free throws of the contest with 1:09 to play in the third quarter. We played 23 minutes.
Well, wouldn't you know, it's Grant Snyder, who's been super aggressive all night. It's hard to believe this is just his first free throw of the game.
That foul went against Calvin Bates, his first and team's fourth. Free throw is up and good. That gets him to double figures, 10 points for Snyder, the only player in double figures tonight. Started with a hot first quarter. Now he's kind of been quiet, not for a lack of trying. As you mentioned, very aggressive, just hasn't gotten much to fall. First couple points in the second half. As we approach the final 60 seconds of this third quarter, 3-point lead here for the Cavaliers, looking for more on the turnover. And inside the lay-in, no good. Quentin Wimmer off the mark.
Now we're starting to get a little bit of crazy back and forth action, something we didn't see at all in the first half.
Poked away by the defender, and it'll stay Cavaliers basketball. Bertha Savage checking in for the Raiders, and it appears for the Cavaliers, Staplefeld will come back in. Remember, he had a quick 7 points in that first part of the third quarter. 40 seconds to play here, 31-28 lead. Staplefeld with a pull-up jumper, no good, and fighting inside, and Sander Wimmer gets the rebound, kick out, no good. Staplefeld turns it over.
We got a 4-on-1 here.
And a little out of control, but it's going to come back to the Raiders.
That is such a fortunate break there for the Raiders. You got to be aware that you're 4-on-1 when you're driving on a fast break like that. He could have really slowed it down, let the defender pass, maybe kicked it out to the two trailers or his other teammate across the court, but unfortunately, here we are with an injury.
We got an injury on the floor, so it looks like Karsten Hansen is down. We'll take a break. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week.
The New Hampshire Heritage Collection by M.J. Harrington Jewelers is imagined and designed by our craftsmen, inspired by the natural beauty and special places that make New Hampshire extraordinary. The Old Man of the Mountain, Common Loon, Covered Bridge, Sap Bucket, and New Hampshire Lakes Collection are tributes to the story of the Granite State. Made in America, handcrafted, uniquely yours, from M.J. Harrington Jewelers.
So Hollis-Brookline, 3-point lead. And a little late out of the timeout. Lebanon wanted to get it in quickly, but they couldn't quite get it there. Instead, they go baseline and in and out.
Yeah,
Calvin Bates.
That's a tough break. They forgot about Bates in the corner, and he missed a little bunny there.
And then the three on the other end from Razzaboni.
It's a 5-point swing, and Hollis-Brookline now with the biggest lead of the game, 6 points.
So it appears that Karsten Hansen, as we see at the buzzer, the shot is not able to be gotten off. So that's going to do it. We'll give you an update on Hansen on the other side in the fourth quarter, where the Cavaliers now lead 34-28 at the end of the third. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week.
Warner's Main Street Bookends has been your community bookstore since 1998 and voted Yankee Magazine's Editor's Pick Must-See Bookstore. Bookends is a full-service store offering a huge selection of current fiction and nonfiction with children's book selection, toys, and games. Bookends has a huge card selection for all occasions, along with Main Street Marketplace and Gallery in the attached barn. 100% solar, Main Street Bookends of Warner is building your community one book at a time.
Welcome back, fourth quarter, 6-point game, and Cavaliers with the lead. Raiders trying to get something going. We saw at the end of that quarter a big swing. Missing the easy basket was Calvin Bates, and then going on the other side, Razabani with a three. And then the turnover there, Razabani, he's got a man, he's going to take him to the hoop, and it's going to be a foul against Bertha Savage.
Yeah, there's a lot of foot movement there. He kind of just tried to get in his path. Easy block call there.
Yeah, Bertha Savage trying to get somewhere, just couldn't
He
quite
kind
get
of
him.
just undercut him, quite frankly. A little bit dangerous there. You got to be careful.
So the second foul on Bertha Savage, the 15th foul for the Raiders, and that proves a little dangerous. Razabani.
It's dangerous for Bertha Savage. I mean, that's a good way to get yourself hurt.
5 fouls to 1, and we mentioned the foul the disparity in the first half. In the second half, it's been the opposite.
Complete opposite.
First free throw, no good. Second one is good, and lead continues to grow. 7 points, largest of the game.
Lebanon really needs to find their offense here.
And driving baseline, that'll be a start. Jackson Stone.
Great way to find your offense. Attack the hoop. Stone got a great pass while he was driving, and he's going to get himself an and one for the rare Lebanon free throw.
Yes, first one of the night. Jackson Stone trailing by 5, and he's trying to complete the three-point play. No good. Rebound to Sanderwimmer.
Hollis-Brookline does a great job on the glass, not giving up offensive rebounds. That's been huge in this game. And somebody else that's been huge is Staplefield here in the second half.
He's got 9. Raiders down 7. Williman driving, kicking to Smith. He'll take a 3, and he gets it. Knocks it down. He's got 5.
A little bit of offense here from Lebanon on their last few possessions.
37-33. Of course, their leading scorer, Karsten Hansen, is in the locker room with an injury. And the three-pointer there, that was Staplefield again. He's got 12 points.
That makes him the leading scorer?
Yes. He's
all in the second half here in about 9 minutes.
Yeah, really got hot in that third quarter and then opened this quarter up. Raiders need some offense. They trail by 7. Here's Falzerano kicking it into the corner. Stone off the mark.
Good look though for Stone. He set his feet and squared up to the hoop. Just shot a little long.
If you're Coach Keith Matty, you got to imagine you don't get a stop here. You're calling timeout because it could be of a 3-pointer, makes it a 10-point game. Got to get a stop. Falzerano, little aggressive. No, it's going to be a timeout before anything was called. So we'll take a quick break, 30-second timeout. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week. 33. Lebanon Raiders trail by 7, their largest deficit of the night. Out of the timeout, what did Coach Cole Etten draw up for this Cavaliers offense? Razabani drives, no good, nice
That's
defense.
a big block there.
But he gets the rebound. And they'll reset. Staplefeld, guarded by Falzerano, who almost picked up a foul, but timeout was called just before that. Whistle blew. Falzerano looked at it, thought it was a foul call, but it was the timeout by Coach Cole Etten. And clearly taking their time here, no need to rush.
Well, points have been at a premium this game, so the more you can drag out any possession is a good thing for your team when you got the lead.
Nice defense collapsing, but not good enough. Staplefield again.
Just taking over this basketball game right now. 9 points to lead. Lebanon really needs a hoop.
Really needs some offense here. Hansen back on the bench, Karsten Hansen, but he is wrapped and probably will not see him the rest of the night. And Smith. Looks like.
Did they call that in the act of shooting? Was that?
Or was it an away from the ball foul as the shot went off? Well, they're going to call not going to be free throws. Bring the sub in, so it's going to be a dead ball foul. And we've got a timeout on the floor. Keith Matty wants to talk it over. YCN Game of the Week.
Inc.com.
No matter what season it is, you can always find the best in American and Italian cuisine at Bubba's Bar and Grill in Newbury, New Hampshire. Stop in to enjoy our fresh salads, hearty sandwiches, brick oven pizzas, the award-winning seafood chowder, and a new seasonal menu just right for the cooler months. Dine in or take out. You can check out our full lunch and dinner menus along with daily specials on our website each day as well. Bubba's Bar and Grill, just 2 miles from Mount Sunapee in the beautiful harbor of Newbury, New Hampshire. No matter what season it is, you can always find the best in American and Italian cuisine at Bubba's Bar and Grill in Newbury, New Hampshire. Stop in to enjoy our fresh salads, hearty sandwiches, brick oven pizzas, the award-winning seafood chowder, and a new seasonal menu just right for the cooler months. Dine in or take out. You can check out our full lunch and dinner menus along with daily specials on our website each day as well. Bubba's Bar and Grill, just 2 miles from Mount Sunapee in the beautiful harbor of Newbury, New Hampshire.
At HR Club.
Welcome back. Out of the timeout, see what the Raiders offense can come up with, and they'll get fouled. That'll be on the floor, so that will not be a shooting foul just yet. Today's game is being brought to you in part by Ramonto's Brick Oven Pizza. You're never too far from great food and good times at Ramonto's, the locally owned restaurants that make freshness taste so good. Down 9, Lebanon really cannot afford to have any empty possessions.
Yeah, Lebanon's starting to be a little more aggressive here in this fourth quarter, trying to attack the hoop as Rainey did there and drew a foul, but not a shooting foul. They got to find a way to get to the line. What a save there, by the way, by Jackson Stone.
And then Williman off the mark from 3. He had a good look. He was open on the recovery. And Hollis-Brookline now able to walk it up, take their time as we just about halfway through this fourth quarter. And nice job by Smith.
Yes, Sablefield doesn't get the memo about taking time. He wants to go out there and score.
And Williman's going to get the and one from the three-pointer in the corner.
That is exactly what Lebanon needs. Fouled on the three-point shot, and it looks like his own teammate, Wade Rainey, got knocked down into him.
So what they're going to call the foul against the defender on Wade Rainey. The three's going to count, but the foul's on the floor, so Lebanon gets the ball again. Because the foul
happened in the act of shooting,
but it wasn't on the shooter.
Correct.
So that's the right call, and a big three there by Williman.
How about that 6-point swing for Lebanon?
Excuse me, that was Rainey. Rainey's setting the screen, popping out.
Screen, kick it back, and nothing but net.
Yeah.
And a little bit of back of rim, but we We won't get into details.
So that's where the advantage comes from. The foul not on the shooter. You don't get the one free throw, you get possession, and they turned it into 3 more.
Yeah, and before that, Staplefield, we talked about, or you mentioned how they probably will take their time. Staplefield kind of took it to the hole and threw it away real quick. He was a little aggressive. I was a little surprised by that. Much better possession that time, though.
Snyder.
For Snyder, he took his time and got a good layup.
So leads back up to 5. 3 minutes to play in this one.
That's a great job by Snyder there. I mean, to put it back up to 5 is huge.
2-possession game. There's Williman getting it to Rainey. And they find Stone in the corner. Into Smith. They forgot about him on the back door. But then he misses off the iron.
Couple bunnies now that Lebanon's missed, and they're going to really regret probably at the end of this game if they don't win.
2 easy ones. That one by Smith on the back door. He had it nicely. Forgot all about him. And Haytana wants the foul call. He's not going to get it. Smith and Haytana playing aggressive down there.
Well, you got to play aggressive against Haytana. I mean, he's one of the bigger guys on the court.
And then all the way to the hoop. Somebody lost their man. Staplefield, an easy bucket. Lead back to 7, 2 minutes to play.
Just continues to rack up points here in this second half.
Once again, another big possession here for the Raiders. Williman almost lost the handle, but he gets it to Falzarano.
This game continues to be very physical.
Falzarano, nice little jump stop.
Yeah, fantastic up fake.
And a timeout on the floor. We'll take a break. 46-41.
The New Hampshire Heritage Collection by M.J. Harrington Jewelers is imagined and designed by our craftsmen, inspired by the natural beauty and special places that make New Hampshire extraordinary. The Old Man of the Mountain, Common Loon, Covered Bridge, Sap Bucket, and New Hampshire Lakes Collection are tributes to the story of the Granite State, made in America, handcrafted, uniquely yours, from M.J. Harrington Jewelers.
Warner's Main Street Bookends has been your community bookstore since 1998 and voted Yankee Magazine's Editor's Pick Must-See Bookstore. Bookends is a full-service store offering a huge selection of current fiction and nonfiction with children's book selection, toys, and games. Bookends has a huge card selection for all occasions, along with Main Street Marketplace and Gallery in the attached barn. 100% solar, Main Street Bookends of Warner is building your community one book at a time.
Welcome back. Hollis-Brookline out of the timeout, up 5. Lebanon's got to really play some tight defense, looking for a quick steal here. Or will they put him at the line? 90 seconds to play, down 5.
Yeah, I mean, this is a lot of time left for Lebanon's D to start intentionally fouling.
And they looked like they were going to come up with a steal. Williman was there.
They call a foul or a timeout? I think it was a timeout on the floor. There was definitely no foul.
They're going to give the timeout to the Cavaliers. They had possession, and it's a full timeout. Let's take a quick replay here and see.
Yeah, naked eye, it looks like the correct call. I don't think he ever got his hands on the ball here to... Yeah, the coach is in the ref's ear right there calling timeout before Williman got there. So
yeah, Williman and Falzarano were there, and so
you got to credit head coach Cole Etten on that one.
He was right there.
He was right there on the ball, literally on the ball.
46-41. We'll take a quick break. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week.
Why is it always time for pizza in New England? Because Ramonto's brick oven pizzas are popping up everywhere. With dough made fresh daily and baked in brick ovens, plus pasta, sandwiches, and artisan salads always from fresh ingredients, you're never far from good times and great food at Ramonto's. Ramonto's brick oven pizzas are the locally owned restaurants that make freshness taste so good. Want a piece of the pie? Visit Ramontos.com for franchise opportunities.
Stay tuned at the end of our telecast for the HR Club Kearsarge Heating Turning Up the Heat Player of the Game. We will choose the team member that had the greatest impact on today's game. HR Club is, like our student athletes, dedicated to performing the best and providing the best results every day. And the sixth foul there is committed by Falzerano, his second, team sixth, as they look to start fouling maybe and putting some of the free throw shooters who are not as good to the line. But
it's interesting. They still, there's their seventh foul, so they're starting to get there. They got, 8 is when you get to 1 and 1?
No, they'll be at 1 and 1 now.
Oh,
Seventh
7
foul,
is
yeah.
1 and 1, okay.
So that was...
Go into it early.
Yeah. I think at this point...
With no shot clock yet, it's probably the thing
I think
to
they
do.
were hoping they could get somebody who wasn't a good free throw shooter at the line.
Unfortunately, they get maybe their best scorer, Grant Snyder.
It's 2 for 2 so far tonight, and that makes it 3 for 3. He's got 14, 9 in the first half. He's got 5 more in the second half. He's got 14 overall. Trying to make this 7-point game, which would essentially be a 3-possession game, obviously, assuming they don't foul on a 3-pointer, but we're approaching a minute to play now. Need a bucket here if you're the Raiders. They'll run their play. Falzerano. Rainey open.
Yeah,
off the mark.
That was a good look for Rainey. Open shot at the top of the key. Just pulled up way short on it, and Hollis-Brookline here, with 49 seconds left, 7-point lead, is in commanding control of this basketball game.
Yeah, 7-point lead and a timeout on the floor. They're going to call a full timeout, so we'll step aside as the Raiders trail by 7 in this one. Watching the YCN Game of the Week.
William A. Smith Auction Gallery hosts 45 auctions a year. Our customer base is worldwide, and our reputation is for honesty and fairness.
Rolex right there, $5,000, $3,000. I got 2 there, thank you. 20.
Join us for one of our live auctions. Check out the auction schedule on our website. Auction day is lively and fun.
Sold $3,381. Yeah, sold $253. Sold $850 straight away.
We look forward to seeing you on auction day.
Let's go, 6.5.
For over 11 years, Bubba's Bar and Grill has been providing hungry patrons with high-quality food and friendly service, with a mission of delivering a remarkable experience to every visitor. And Bubba likes to remind you, we're having a lot of fun here. And out of the timeout and the inbounds, trying to foul, and they do get the foul on Haytana. Haytana will go to the free throw line. Up 7, so essentially a 3-possession game at this point. Caleb Smith will be called for his foul. That will be his first, team's 8th.
Tough job here for Leb. They really got to crash the glass, make sure they get a rebound on a missed free throw, but they also have to get guys up and running here. They need quick points. They need a fast break.
Haytana misses the front end, and the rebound to the Raiders. They've got a shot here as they go inside to Williman, who is fouled, and he'll go to the free throw line to shoot a pair.
I'll say that probably went about as well as it could for Lebanon there. They did get the offensive rebound. They had 3 guys crashing the boards. They didn't exactly get a fast break or anything out of it, but they got a nice look on a good cut. And they'll get 2 free throws. Got to hit him here, though.
Yeah, at this point you wonder, do you start thinking about missing the second one if you can get this first one? Because of no shot clock, you're down 6 now. 2 possessions. You have anything?
You're only 2 fouls away from them getting 2 every
shots,
time,
yeah.
though.
So you got to be careful. And he does miss it, crashing himself, but it does come down in the hands of the Cavaliers.
Williman will tell you he did that one intentionally, just like you called it.
And that foul, I believe, is going to be on Williman, his 3rd, and 1 and 1 will be to Ryan Coutu, who has yet to register a point.
Probably,
6'3" senior.
Not that Coutu, there's anything wrong with him, but he's probably the guy you want at the line. He hasn't gotten any points yet. He hasn't really taken any shots, so could be a little cold here. Lebanon's got to do the same thing they did last time.
And they did take Haytana out after that missed free throw, and he misses it. So now Rainey with the rebound, almost gets the double dribble, but then he picks it right up and then gets it up court. They get 30 seconds, get something into the passing lane. Williman recovers, but they got to get a shot. Williman for three.
Oh, huge three by Williman. The offense, they look pretty disorganized there, to be honest with you. I mean, I didn't like the way they brought the ball up the court, the awkward play, like you said, almost a travel. Somehow they managed to get it up the court.
And here's Williman. He takes it about 4 feet or 3 feet behind the line.
Just says the heck with it. He had that clock counting down in his head. He knew time is ticking down, and if they were to get a hoop, it needed to be soon.
So 48-45 here. You got 18 seconds left. You've got this next foul now puts them at the line for 2 shots.
Guaranteed 2, yep.
So here's the question. Is it a quick foul because then you have more time to run your offense? Or is it a quick try and trap and then get the foul as both teams are in the bonus now?
I don't know if I would try to trap and get a steal or anything like that. I might try to drop something defensively where I can get a pure steal off the inbound pass. But as soon as Hollis-Brookline gets it, if I'm Lebanon, I'm fouling immediately.
So foul him immediately, put him to the line, give 2. And you've had some success.
You've had good fortune too here. Hollis-Brookline is not hitting their free throws here down the stretch.
So inbounding is Coutu, who missed that last free throw. They did put Haytana back on the floor. He might be the guy you try and get the ball to if you're Lebanon. Force it to him, but instead that's where they get it to Snyder, and then almost stolen. And they're going to have a discussion of who it's going to be. They're going to call a foul. Okay. I couldn't see it right in front of the student section.
Falzarano thought he got it clean, but they're going to call a reach in on him and put Hollis-Brookline at the free throw line. So, certainly, I'll say the ref has a better angle than we do from this side of the court. That's a tough call.
That was. Falzarano's 4th. Team's 10th, obviously 2 shots here for Adam Razabani, who is 1 for 2 from the line. So better than fouling Snyder, who got the inbound pass.
You've got to hit 1 here. You've got to hit 1, and there it is right there.
That makes it basically a 2-possession game. So still got time. If you are able to get a quick shot off. So that is now a 5-point game, but you go up the floor and hit a 3, still got a shot. You got to get something. Falzarano looking, he'll drive, he'll take it himself, and he will go to the free throw line, 9 seconds to play. They were trying to get a 3, just couldn't get something.
Yeah, he'll get 2 free throws here. He has a chance to cut it to 3 and put Hollis-Brookline back at the line and hope they miss both. But, I think you really had to have a 3 there. With a guaranteed 2 free throws, it's risky going for 2 with just 9.3 seconds left.
And the other thing is if he hits it and gets the free throw, then he's got a 3-point play, but unfortunately didn't have that.
Falzarano has to be clutch here and hit this second free throw as well, though. You can't miss either of these.
Unless he goes for the intentional miss.
You could always do that.
Or say it was an intentional miss, as you mentioned last time. But he gets both free throws, and both of these teams, I think, were given an endless amount of timeouts at the onset of this game because another timeout has been called here. I guess they saved them from last game because it's going to be only a 30-second timeout, so we'll just keep it right here. All right, 50-47. Here's another chance. Except now there's only 9 seconds left instead of the last time you had about 15 or 20.
It's even more important.
Get a steal on the inbounds.
You got to foul, steal inbounds or foul within a second. You can't let this clock get below 8 seconds here. We're at 9.3 right now. This has to be instant for Lebanon.
So on the floor is Jackson Stone, Wade Rainey, Falzarano. It looks like Williman's out there, and then Caleb Smith.
Yeah, even more so than just going for the steal. They got to do a better job controlling who gets the inbound pass. You don't want Grant Snyder to get the inbound pass.
Well, and they're doing something different here as they aren't guarding the inbounder.
And they're not fouling. They're letting too much time.
And it's going to be a turnover, travel violation. And you were right, they were not fouling, letting too much time go off.
Yes.
But now they've got a foul, a traveling violation.
That call kind of bailed him out there. Obviously, where I'm sitting, I can't see his feet. I can't tell, if his feet are shuffling or not. So it's impossible for us to tell from here. But that's a huge call. Huge call.
And the replay, or the officials were talking it over, and it's going to stay, I believe, with the Raiders. And they'll get a chance here. 5.6 to go. Falls-Arana will inbound right in front of the student section. Obviously, they need a 3 to tie it. The inbound, getting it to Rainey, then to Williman, who gets a 3, and he misses it, but foul!
And that was that call was obvious. Easy foul call. He went up and he got hit in the hip. That's the correct call. I can't comment on the previous one. I couldn't see it. I couldn't get an angle.
So either way, we've got senior guard John Williman at the free throw line. He has
and now
12 points.
we could absolutely see an intentionally missed free throw here if he doesn't hit one of these first two. He hits the first. He hits the first.
It wasn't without a little drama.
So if he misses this, he's definitely intentionally missing the second one, and they got to try to go up as quick as possible with a
basically
rebound.
Have to get a quick rebound and a tip,
and he does miss. So we will definitely see an intentional miss here. He's going to fire it at the front of the rim, try to get the ball to bounce back as deep as possible.
And then on the miss,
they got to shoot instantly.
They'll have a chance to tie it, and he
missed the rim, and that's going to probably be the game.
So you get a bailout chance, and then the foul on the 3, can't convert.
Timeout by Hollis-Brookline, just trying to drop an inbound play here. You don't want to have a turnover on the inbound here. That's the only way you can lose this game at this point.
Yeah, basically, because even if you go to the free throw line, you're going to have,
you're going to have some,
go all the way down the floor.
You're going to have some time tick off. You got 2.1, so say 0.8 ticks off. That leaves you with 1.3, and Leb's going to have to go all the way down the floor.
Right.
You can't throw a full court score here with the netting and the rafters being as low as they are. So that would essentially be the game, in my opinion.
So the Raiders trail by 2.1 to go. They have had some fortune down the stretch here, some missed free throws by Hollis-Brookline. Then, of course, the turnover there, the foul on the three-pointer. So see if they can get some more.
Yeah, all sorts of crazy stuff. And here from Hollis-Brookline, what I just drew up there is a play that throws the ball down the court, gets something on a guy streaking down the court, have him catch it maybe a little over half court, or if it's turned over, the heck with it.
And they're going to guard the inbounder, and they do immediately foul. And that looks like Snyder, who's going to go to the free throw line.
See, the reason I would not have passed there is because if that ball was turned over, that's the only way Lebanon was going to be able to get that ball up in time into the hoop. If they did something down the court and threw it, to half court or deeper, even if the ball's turned over, Lebanon's going to have to just have a hope and a prayer.
They wouldn't have as much.
They're probably not even going to get, a shot off.
So here's Snyder at the line. He's 4 for 4, and he gets that one. Really,
I would intentionally miss here if I was Snyder. I know it's a 3-point game, and you could win on a Hail Mary 3, but not in this stadium, unfortunately.
Right, because as you mentioned, it take too long to corral the shot.
I mean, a 4-point game ends it anyways, though. So
and he does miss. They get the rebound, 2 dribbles there, and Williman into the net, and that's where it stays.
Not only into the net, it's still in the net.
And that is going to do it. The final here from Lebanon. The Cavaliers defeat the Raiders 51-48 in a very exciting game, tight, contested game, and excitement for all. So we'll take a break and come back with a wrap-up after this. The final score, 51-48. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week.
Simple solutions in a challenging world. Let Echo Communications make your life simpler. From the beginning, creating design through the commercial print process and ending with custom mailing, all easily coordinated in one place. Echo Communications provides simple solutions in a challenging world. One place, many solutions. Learn more at echocominc.com.
No matter what season it is, you can always find the best in American and Italian cuisine at Bubba's Bar and Grill in Newbury, New Hampshire. Stop in to enjoy our fresh salads, hearty sandwiches, brick oven pizzas, the award-winning seafood chowder, and a new seasonal menu just right for the cooler months. Dine in or take out. You can check out our full lunch and dinner menus along with daily specials on our website each day as well. Bubba's Bar and Grill, just 2 miles from Mount Sunapee in the beautiful harbor of Newbury, New Hampshire.
At H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating, we sell, install, tune, and repair heating and cooling systems and deliver your fuel oil and propane. But we're much more, with more frequent major weather events. Don't say again, I should have installed a generator. H.R. Clough provides the best home generator systems available from Generac. Our highly trained personnel provide you a complete turnkey installation. For a free estimate, call the H.R. Clough Company today. Over 4 generations of local ownership and dependable service.
Welcome back. The Lebanon Raiders fall to the Hollis-Brookline Cavaliers 51-48. Jeremy Stout, Scott Quimby here on the post-game wrap-up. And Scott, an exciting game. It was a 2-point game at the half. Looked like Lebanon might be in control. Then Hollis-Brookline really takes over. Lebanon, a desperation effort to come back, can't quite do it.
I mean, it was really a close game the whole time, but Hollis-Brookline just really took over. They made it up. The lead up to 9 at one point, I think, was the biggest, but they really started to take control of this game in the early fourth quarter. But Lebanon, credit to them, they still fought back and gave themselves a chance in the end. It just the breaks didn't go their way.
So let's get to our H.R. Clough Kearsarge Heating turning up the Heat player of the game. It was a tough one. Who you got?
Yeah, I mean, this was a tough one. Obviously, there's 2 guys on this Cavalier team with 16, but I got to give it to Staplefield. All 16 of his points came in the second half. He took over for this team. We mentioned in the first at halftime, quite frankly, that they needed secondary scoring other than Grant Snyder, who had 9 in the first half, and he added another 7 in the second half. But Staplefield, a big 0 in the first half, and he just came out right from the get-go. 7 straight points to start that third quarter, and took this game over. And the Cavaliers would not have won this game without him.
So Maxwell Staplefeld with 16 points. He is the player of the game. You also mentioned Grant Snyder. He finished with 16 as well. Robert Haytana with 6, as well as Adam Razabani with 6. 4 points for Quentin Wimmer and 3 points for Brian Holroyd. And over on the Lebanon side, as we mentioned, it's spread around. They had half dozen scorers in there, but they were led by Williman, who had 13. Of course, he missed those final 2 free throws, just couldn't quite do it. But this Lebanon Raider team, they're still, they still got a lot to look forward to in this playoffs. They'll still be a top 8 seed, so they'll have a home court advantage in the first round. Then, depending on how things shake out, they might have a second game. So this team is still going to be a force in the playoffs.
I mean, they're not falling below 7 guaranteed, I think.
Right.
We'll see what happens in this tough Hanover game they got coming up. But, Lebanon's by no means done. They could have easily won this game. They could have easily won the game against Hanover. They're very competitive against these teams. It's just come down to a few bounces at the end. 3 points this game, 2 points against Hanover. That's a one-possession game. So, I wouldn't give up on this Lebanon team at all. They'll have home court in the first round, I think, guaranteed,
yes,
as even a 7th seed. So, this team could do some damage.
Yeah, they shouldn't fall too far down. And Hollis-Brookline, obviously, with the win, that really puts them in good position to get one of those top 4 seeds in those 2 games, as we mentioned.
You look at Hollis-Brookline now, that's 12 wins in a row. They have, not an easy game, but a very winnable game here in their next matchup, and could sneak up a little higher in the standings. Who knows? If Lebanon can beat Hanover and Hollis-Brookline wins their next game, suddenly they're tied with Hanover. So I don't know how that tiebreaker would end up, but
they're still alive.
Potentially third seed for Hollis-Brookline.
So Hollis-Brookline improves to 14-3 with the win, and Lebanon falls to 14-3 with the loss. Lebanon upcoming game is at Hanover, and we will be there on Thursday night. Tip-off is 6:30 p.m., always live on YCNnow.com as well as on your TV, and then replayed on Sundays at noon for Hollis-Brookline. They travel at Milford at 6:30 on Thursday as well.
Yep.
So,
and if anybody tuned in and saw that first Lebanon-Hanover game, you definitely don't want to miss this next one Thursday.
You want to tune in on Thursday at 6:30. So the final score for the final time, Hollis-Brookline 51, Lebanon 48 for Scott Quimby. I'm Jeremy Stout. Thanks for watching the YCN Game of the Week.